So we are going to start with the chromatography. Okay, guys. So we got the two processes. The first one we have done, that is the electrophoresis. The second one we are doing, that is the chromatography. What is the difference between them? Uh, Basically, if you see the electrophoresis, in the electrophoresis, you take a page or the gel and you apply the sample on it. So this sample applied on this page, okay? So the page, that is actually the stationary phase, okay? So these sample that is made to move by using the current, positive and negative, okay? So the ions, they are made to move by using the current only, okay? So there is only one phase, that is paper, and the this thing on it. So this paper, that is actually the stationary phase. It does not move. Stationary phase. Okay, this paper is the stationary phase. Okay. Now, in the chromatography, we people got the two phases. The first phase, that is called as the stationary phase. The second phase, that is called as the mobile phase. Okay. In the chromatography, we got the two phases. The first one, that is the stationary phase, and the second phase, that is called as the mobile phase. Okay. So these are the two phases in the chromatography. Okay. Mobile phase is actually the solvent, okay, and the stationary phase, that may be paper, okay, it may be some gel, okay, it could be anything, or it could be liquid, okay, it could be anything, okay, paper, gel, or liquid. So this is the stationary phase. It does not move. Whereas the mobile phase, it is actually the solvent which do move. Okay. You people have done the chromatography in your O levels. मैं उसकी आपको छोटी सी example देता हूँ. In the chromatography, what you do, you take a paper like that. This paper, that is called as the chromatography paper. Okay. So you are going to apply the sample on it, and then you put it into a solvent. You put it into the solvent. Okay. So this solvent travel. Okay, this solvent travel on the paper and is going to dissolve the sample, and it will form different spores on it. Okay, so this solvent, my dear, that is the mobile phase because it moves on the paper. This paper, that is not moving at all. ये move नहीं कर रहा. So this is the stationary phase. Did you get my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we got the stationary phase and we got the mobile phase. Okay, now we are going to start with the types of chromatography, and then we will discuss each of them one by one. So types of chromatography. So we got the four types of the chromatography. The first one, that is called as the paper chromatography. Okay. The second one, that is called as the thin layer chromatography. And the third one, that is called as the gas liquid chromatography. Okay. And then number four, that is the high performance liquid chromatography. Okay, so we got these four types of the chromatographies. This paper chromatography, the first word that is PC. So this is also called as the PC. This one PLC. So this one is PLC. This one GLC. GLC. And this one HPLC. So this one is HPLC. So PC, PLC, GLC, and HPLC. These are the four different types of the chromatography. Now, chromatography, my dear, it depends on the two separation techniques. Okay, so there are the two separation techniques. I'm going to write down the separation techniques up here and their definition, and then I will tell you that which separation method is used up here. So separation method. So we got the two types of the separation method. The first one that is called as the, I forgot one of the word. The second one that is adsorption. It will come in my mind after some time. Adsorption. The first word, partition here. Partition. Okay. So these are the two separation techniques, separation methods, which are used to separate the sample. Okay. So what is the partition and what is the adsorption? इसको जरा ध्यान से जो है वो आप लोग सुन लीजिएगा कि partition क्या होती है, adsorption क्या होती है. ये देखिए जी, ये solvent है, ठीक है, ये solvent ऊपर rise कर रहा है. So this is the sample. इस sample के different parts की solvent के अंदर कितनी solubility है, which are more soluble in the solvent, they will travel more. And those parts of the sample which are less soluble, okay, in the solvent, they will travel less. Okay, so in this way, the different parts of the sample, they separate on the basis of their forces of attraction with the solvent. So those parts of the sample which have stronger forces of attraction with the solvent, they travel more. And those parts of the sample which have less forces of attraction with the solvent, they travel less. Okay, so this is called as the partition. Okay, partition में क्या होता है कि जो आपके sample के different जो है वो parts होते हैं, उनकी solubility, उनकी forces of attraction solvent के साथ कितनी ज्यादा है, जिसकी ज्यादा होगी वो ज्यादा travel करेगा, and those with low solubility it will travel less. Okay. So just write it.
हाँ सर.
जी बोलो बेटा.
अरे आपने एब्जॉर्प्शन लिखा हुआ है या एडजॉर्प्शन लिखा हुआ है?
Adsorption. AD.
ठीक हो गया सर.
This is the new word, my dear. Adsorption. Okay. So different components of the mixture are separated due to different forces of attractions with mobile fields. So those components of the mixture which have stronger forces of attraction with the mobile phase, वो ज्यादा travel करेंगे. And those components of the mixture which have low forces of attraction with the mobile phase, they will travel less. अब आ जाए adsorption पे. Adsorption में क्या होता है? Adsorption में when you put the sample, this sample forms the forces of attraction with this paper. Okay. So those components of the mixture which have stronger forces of attraction with this stationary phase, they travel less, whereas those which are having weaker forces of attraction with the stationary phase, they travel more. यानी इसकी एग्जांपल ऐसे लेने की, सपोज करें यहाँ से पानी का रेला आ रहा है और मैंने अपनी उंगली से जो है वो फिंगर से मैंने चीज को पकड़ा हुआ है, फिंगर से, तो वो पानी का रेला मुझे इजिली यहाँ से ले जाएगा। लेकिन अगर मैंने अपने दोनों हाथों से और अपनी टांगों से भी उसको पकड़ा हो तो इट विल टेक सम टाइम कि वो मुझे अपने साथ लेके जाए। तो एग्जैक्ट इज द केस ऑफ हियर कि एब्जॉर्प्शन में क्या होता है, द कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ द मिक्सचर they form forces of attractions with the stationary phase, okay, so they are separated, okay, due to the different forces of attraction with the stationary phase. So those components of mixture with strong forces of attraction with the stationary phase, they travel less, okay, and those with weaker forces of attraction with the stationary phase, they travel further, they travel more. Did you get it, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So separation of different components of mixture due to different forces of attractions with stationary phase. Okay, so this is absorption and this is partition. तो पार्टीशन और एब्जॉर्प्शन में क्या फर्क होता है गाइस, कि पार्टीशन में सॉल्वेंट के साथ जो फोर्सेस ऑफ अट्रैक्शन हैं उसकी बेस पे चीजों की सेपरेशन होती है, whereas in the absorption the separation would occur due to different forces of attraction with the stationary phase. Did you get it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now if you look up here, only this methodology of the thin layer chromatography, this one, that depends on a process which is called as the absorption. Absorption. Whereas these three processes, this is number one, and these two processes. Okay, so they use the partition. Okay, they use the partition to be separated from each other. Did you get it, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. Now we are going to start with the details of the paper chromatography one by one. Paper chromatography. In the paper chromatography, you got the paper, the chromatography paper. Chromatography paper that is used as a stationary phase. So this is the stationary phase. And the second thing, the solvent, which is actually the liquid. Okay, this one is used as a mobile phase. And I told you that the paper chromatography technique, so paper chromatography depends on the separation method, which is called as the partition. I told you. And the definition of partition I told you earlier. So basically, what should people do in the paper chromatography? I'm not going to go into very much detail of this process. Okay, I'm just taking the paper chromatography, the small description, and then there is a new thing in the paper chromatography which is called as the two-way chromatography. Okay, so we will discuss this one. Two-way chromatography. I'm giving you little bit details of that. First of all, you should take a paper like that. Okay, so this paper that is called as a chromatography paper. Okay, now what should you do? You should take the chromatography paper, put a sample with the help of the dropper up here. So this is the sample you have applied. Okay. Now what you do? You should put it into a solvent, and this solvent, that is solvent one. Okay. So the name of this solvent is solvent one. Solvent one will rise up. When it will come up here, the sample contains different mixture, different components of the mixture. So due to their forces of attraction with this solvent one, they are separated in the form of spores on the chromatographic paper. And this solvent that will travel up that place. Okay, did you get it?
Yes, sir.
So just write it down. Due to different forces of attractions with the solvent one, the components of the mixture are separated in the form of colored or colorless spots on chromatography paper. Okay, guys, did you get it?
सर वो आपने सॉल्वेंट वन लिखा हुआ है ना?
DG solvent one है भाई साहब. Okay, my dear. Now you know that these different spores are formed due to different components of the mixture up here. Okay, but this is not yet the end of this chromatography. We have to process it because this is the two-way chromatography. But firstly, what we do, we have to find out the RF value of these different things. The first thing, if the spores are colored, they are visible. But if the spores, they are colorless. Okay, so colorless spores, let's suppose. So colorless spores, so for colorless spores, what should you do? You should use locating agent. And the locating agent we use the two locating agent. If we got the amino acids mixture, amino acids for amino acids we use nin hydrogen. Okay, and for the ions we use aqueous ammonia. Okay, so these two are the locating agent. If the spores they are colorless. If the spores are colored, they are visible. Okay, and then you can find out the RF value. RF value, my dear, that could be calculated by the distance traveled by sport divided by the distance traveled by solvent. Okay, so you calculate the RF value of these different spores, and how would you do it? From the top, of this sport, from here, you should measure the distance, the place where you apply the sample. Not this is the solvent level. So don't measure it from the solvent level. You measure it from the place of sample you applied, this place. Okay, so you measure this distance and then you measure this distance of the solvent level. Okay, and normally, my dear students, keep remember the value of RF that is less than 1. Always it is less than 1. Why? Because the sport travel less distance and the solvent always travel greater distance. Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what should you do, guys? You should uh, take the same chromatography paper and you should reverse it like that. Okay? So you should rotate it at 190-degree angle like that. So here we got the different spores formed. Okay. Now what should you do? You should put it in another solvent which is called as the solvent 2. So this is your solvent 2. So this is actually the two-way chromatography. Chromatography, the two-way chromatography. Now you should put it into another solvent, okay? And these things they could start travel from there to here. Let's suppose the different spores are formed like that. So these are the different spores formed. Now, by using these spores distance, okay, we have to find out that which things are present. So we will study these spores, inshallah ta'ala, in our next class tomorrow, and then paper chromatography, past paper, we will do tomorrow. Okay, then you will understand the concept. That's it for today from my side.